Ghosts in Us contains serious and sometimes disturbing events and is not suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
It had the crying boy painting.
Her imaginary friend as a kid was a demon.
I looked that thing in its eyes and it changed me forever.
I absolutely believe it was like a demonic presence.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Ghosts in Us podcast. As always, I'm Blaine, and I have my co-host Taylor in a new setup with all of her little oddities.
Not all of them, just some.
Some of her little oddities. Got the Ouija board in the background, the planchettes.
Got the skull.
The skull. But today, it's not us that you should be worried about. It's about who our guest is. Today, we have Larry Eissler in the building, in his own office, because this is over Zoom. Dude, what's going on? I'm so glad to finally have you on.
We'll call this in the studio, even though I'm in my basement.
Yeah, that's what we call this little extra room I got.
Yeah,
on my screen, he looks like a floating head. He blends in so much.
If I did this, hold on. I got to turn my sleeve around because the sleeve has record on one side. If I do
it's
that,
he's just the head.
I'm just a floating head. I don't know. Sometimes my camera gets super dark like this, and even though all my lights are on, my camera's like, nah, bro, this is full contrast. You can see nothing but darkness.
I mean, you're the focus.
You are the focus.
Like, this is it. That's all you see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad to be here. I'm excited for the show. I can't wait.
So, again, like I was telling you before we started, kind of tell us a little bit about you. I know you're a filmmaker. You've done, right? You're on Expedition Entity. That's your show that you got going on. You did a Paraflix film at Brodhead Manor. Bill and Ron talked you up when we were there last year.
Yeah.
They are such sweethearts.
I don't deserve those two. I don't deserve them.
Nobody deserves them. Like I said, nobody deserves them, but they're awesome.
Very, very fortunate to have them in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm a filmmaker and a documentarian. I have 17 episodes over 3 seasons of Expedition Entity, and that's on the Paraflix network. One of those episodes that was actually filmed at Brodhead for season 3 won us a Telly Award, which is a big statue. It weighs a ton. And then, we filmed, actually, it was the first thing I ever filmed at Brodhead was the Paraflix special investigation. And it was a night where an investigation wasn't even supposed to happen. Natalie Jones, Patty Negri, and Rob Thompson, all from Paraflix, were just in town for a conference. And they're like, hey, we're going to go to Brodhead and check this place out. Well, I've been to Brodhead a million times. So I show up and I have a bunch of gear and a bunch of other people have gear. And I collected the recordings of 7 different groups and combined them together into this 40-50 minute video where you can actually follow the story from, the first floor and the second floor. And it's actually really neat.
That's awesome.
And then part of that actually comes into play as archive footage for our big Telly episode. Because we reference back to it, the time when Natalie Jones was in the principal's office, and she started like convulsing, like she was shaking so bad, like she was convulsing on screen. And she felt something. She called it, I think, primordial, or something of that nature. Well, it's the elemental. The building has 2 elementals, so absolutely. But that was her first time there, and she didn't know that. So she's picking up on something older than time. Well, we know it's the elemental, but she didn't know it. So we referenced that in our big award-winning episode, and then had the wildest investigation I've ever had there. One of the investigators on my team almost died while filming. So that was pretty intense. Surprise, wasn't ready for that one. But luckily, everybody survived. There were no extra ghosts added to Brodhead, and the episode came out. The most important thing, the episode came out.
That's the most important. Yeah, and it wasn't the fact that somebody almost died. How? I need to know how.
Have you seen the episode?
I don't have Paraflix. I'm gonna be upfront.
I don't.
That's okay, because this episode is actually for free to watch on Paraflix.
Awesome.
So if you go to the browse where you can see like all the shows like on Netflix,
Mhm.
there's a section or like a category called the Paranormal channel. Everything in that section is free to watch,
All right. Well,
including the Brodhead episode.
all right. Well, don't spoil it. I'll put the link in the description of the YouTube version and our podcast show notes
Cool.
for
Well,
people.
I won't spoil it completely, but I will say it's about halfway into the episode and we're in the principal's office. So we've already established that some funky stuff happened in the principal's office with Natalie, right? Like she was shaking and she's feeling something not so nice. If you've ever investigated Brodhead, the principal's kind of strict. He's not evil. He's not evil, but he's a jerk.
See, here's where I want to
never-
chime in though, because like when we went, it was the middle of what, July, August.
It was
Mhm.
hot.
It was
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
And we didn't use, Bill had told us a lot of people tend to use the gym as the base room, but it was so hot. We wanted a room with AC.
We
We
used
had-
the principal's office.
We used the old principal's office as our base camp gear room, and we never felt anything there, which I think is weird. They have
Maybe
all
we were
these
just
stories.
so hot that we just didn't care.
I mean, granted,
Possibly.
the four of us took a nap, so
And it's a normal sleeping room for investigation.
yeah, for sure.
So it can be hit or miss. But on this particular night, the principal did not like Jen.
Oh,
Jen is more alternative. You know, she's got short chopped hair. It was multicolored. She has many facial piercings and tattoos and all sorts of stuff. She's alternative. We're dealing with a principal from the early 1900s who is a lot more strict. So we've had encounters with other spirits in the building with Jen. They tend to not like Jen's look as much. They don't really enjoy her. The younger spirits do. It's just the old fogies that don't like it.
right.
Because they're all stuck in their ways from 100 years ago. So that includes the janitor. So
Yeah.
in this part of the investigation, we're all sitting in and it used to be the L-shaped couch in the office. He moved it now. It's beds and a smaller couch. But during this session, when you watch it, I want you to focus on Jen. She's the one that she got the leather jacket on. She's got short blonde hair.
Mhm.
And about halfway in, it's about 10 minutes long. Halfway in, her eyes gloss over it and she's gone.
Oh,
She's completely checked out.
I've had my experiences with people that happen to that, and I don't like it. So, whoo, all right.
It's wild to watch. And she'll come in and out. Like she'll snap and be like, "Oh," and then she'll say something, and then she'll go again.
When the
Oh.
lights are on and nobody's home, that's when it can get really creepy.
It was very creepy. Towards the end of that session, once you see it, you'll know the exact moment where Jen could have seriously hurt herself and or died. So, but it's during that part, right
right.
after she starts checking out for good, and then she's just like gone. Then you know it's go time.
So
All
people
right.
really need to look for this episode and watch that.
Yeah, I'll make sure to
Yeah.
link it, and I'll probably share it on our Facebook page, and
Cool.
I'm sure some people who follow us haven't seen it. So,
I've had quite a few different film festivals and film reviewers review it, and they always message me about that part, and they're like, "Was this set up?" Like, no, there's no
yeah,
way you
always
could
gotta
plan for that.
Yeah, you gotta stand your ground when it comes to that stuff.
Right. And we were there for like at that point probably 12 hours already.
Okay.
So, everyone's a little tired and Jen was kind of leading the investigation for most of the night. So she's putting a lot of energy into the building. So, at that point she's getting a little tired and whatnot, but once she checks out, then it's like, okay, Jen needs a break. We're going to take 5 and then we're going to hit this again later with somebody else leading.
Yeah. it's a
So,
good idea.
but it prompted everyone to be like, so how much of your investigations are edited? And then I had to tell them none. Like we film a very specific way to be true to investigating, not for entertainment.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first half, that's all entertainment. That's your B-roll, your sound effects, your interview all that stuff.
Yep.
You're trying to tell the story and you're trying to make it compelling so people want to watch the rest. Once the investigation starts, the way that I set up everything with my partner Dan, who retired last January, we filmed for 10 minutes at a time. And sometimes, the first minute and the last minute gets shaved off because you're, lining up microphones or you're kind of chit-chatting a little bit.
Mhm.
We don't need to see that. So usually about 8 to 10 minutes is the investigation. That's what you see, all 8 to 10 minutes. There's no
Interesting.
cuts. There's no like added sound effects to make something more spooky. It's pure investigation. All it does is hop from one camera to the other, depending on what you need to look at.
Interesting.
So like what's a good example? Like if Jen's holding dowsing rods, there'll be a wide shot, but when the rods cross, it might be a close up of the rods crossing so you can see them clearly.
Mhm.
Right.
And then it goes back to the wide. That's all it is. There's nothing else. There's no like extra shots to make things look spooky. It's just pure investigation. So when I was talking to one film reviewer, particularly, she's like, if this happened that way, that's absolutely terrifying. And I'm like, yeah, looking back on it, it kind of was. At the time, I wasn't terrified. I was more in like, oh my God, I need to get Jen out of this room right now mode.
Yeah.
But, through going through editing and watching it a whole million times, yeah, that's kind of scary. That's kind of scary.
Yeah, I mean, Taylor and I, when we put our videos together, we'll do the more entertainment stuff just because we're specifically putting our stuff out on YouTube and people tend to gravitate more towards the more like added ambiance of spookiness. And all I do is I cut to different cameras too. It's not like I'm not adding fake evidence or shit like that. And
we're very genuine.
We try to be as genuine as
everything
possible when it comes to that stuff. Like it's our reactions. Like we'll film for probably 8 hours, six to 8 hours, given on the place, and then we'll cut that down to 40 minutes, and that's what you get. So that's what we do personally. But I like that. I like that. Here's your 10 minutes, and then like maybe shave off the first and last minute. That's an interesting way to do it.
It's mostly us just going, okay, ready, 1, 2, 3. This is session 1. We're in, all that kind of stuff. Making sure everyone's in the spot that I want them to be so that cameras can cover them. We don't need that. Cut that off. All that can go. And then at the end, sometimes Dan would kind of recap a little bit. The investigators would talk amongst themselves to be like, okay, so did you see that when this happened? Did you hear that? Sometimes I keep that, sometimes I don't. Because sometimes it's really good, but if I do that for every single session, at the end, that's going to cut a session out. So sometimes I'd rather get more sessions in than more explaining. But other times I have to use it because not a whole lot happened and I have to make a video.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's helpful, but yeah, anything that you watch on Expedition Hardy, that's how long it was. It was, 8-ish minutes to the timer. A lot of camcorders have the little time code where you watch how long it's progressed. And then I had a little red trigger on my camera that I'd click, and then it would put a red light in Dan's face, but you don't see red under IR.
Yeah.
So that's how Dan knew, hey, wrap it up. You're almost out of time.
Oh.
So
That's
we kept
really cool.
it very, very close to 10 minutes.
Yeah, you take obviously you're a filmmaker, documentarian. You take a very coordinated filmmaking approach to it where I went to school for, film and stuff, but like I went towards the other route and I like the differences. Like I like seeing how other people do it.
Sure. And I'm not saying just because I did it this way that the entertainment side is bad.
Right.
I have friends that do a little more on the entertainment side with sound effects and stuff like that. They do great work. Fantastic. Matt Betton, Zach Wenzel, they both do incredible work.
Oh, I love Zach.
But
he's awesome.
It's more entertainment-y. It's not quite as rigid investigation.
Yeah, yours is like, here's the real thing, and then we've been a lot of us have been kind of going towards the like, let's kind of make it what it looks like on TV for people to enjoy, because that's what gets
The
more
views.
eyes to it. But I
It
do
does.
like your approach, because it's so different.
Mhm.
And
So
I like seeing how other people.
the difference is the intended audience.
Right.
And that's a big thing in film in general. Right? You
Mhm.
always have to look at your demographics. So when Matt's doing something or Zach's doing something, what's their intended audience? Mostly YouTube. Well, Matt distributes, but a YouTube-esque audience that's looking to get scared. They're looking to be freaked out by something.
Yeah.
Our intended audience were investigators.
Yeah.
We made a show that basically introduced them to a location, gave them a down and dirty 10-minute, 15-minute interview that gave them just enough to get started, showed them some cool spots, and then said, now you go there
Yeah.
and see what you catch.
It's
And
like
that's
that
why we
inspiring
focused.
thing.
Yeah, and that's why we focused on lesser known spots. Spots that everyone's like, I've never even heard of this place. I know. So go there now because they need money to fix their roof.
Yeah. Well, so I want to talk about this now, because you just did a video at the old Baraboo Inn.
I
And
did. Yeah,
I had
that came out
messaged
what? Last weekend.
last weekend. I had messaged
Yeah.
you. I had messaged you because my friend Mike and I were teaming up, and we went there this past Saturday at the time of recording. And I was like, dude, like, is there any, like, was it cool? Like, I was listening to what you were trying to say, and I saw you had that video kind of premiering on socials, and I was kind of looking at it, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, we didn't have that happen, but we had this happen. Like, I like how it really kind of baffles me every time. Like, yeah, things are going to be different every time. Like, we went to a couple different spots, got nothing. We still put a
Mhm.
video out, but that's just to show, like, that's just our experience. But
Sure.
you had some really cool stuff happen. And then I was looking at the footage that my friend Mike and I got, and I was like, oh, but we also had this cool thing happen. But I think I would have honestly shit my pants if this happened, that when it happened to Larry. Like, I would have, it's that give and
That
take thing.
that was a different investigation. I've
Because you said you were going to
never
make that a 10-minute video, and then you said, oh, well, I guess it's going to be like an hour now.
Yeah. So I was doing an event there, and Shelly approached me, and she's like, "Hey, while you're here, could you just do like a couple-minute video, just to to be like, hey, Larry was here, and then we'll use it to promote the next event I'm doing in February." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's not a problem at all. I could do that in my sleep." So I get there, and I guess I went into documentary mode. So I started like filming the walkthrough and filming B-roll and getting drone footage. Normally when I do something like this, it's an all-day affair.
Mm-hmm.
Starting at like 9, 10 a.m. until like 2 a.m. Like it's all day. Uh Old Baraboo Inn was not that way. I showed up 2 hours before the event was supposed to start, and I crammed all this in to like an hour and a half. And I did not get near enough B-roll. That's the one thing I regret, is I didn't get enough B-roll. But I also wasn't planning to do this big video.
Right.
So and then the investigations happened as they did, and as I'm going through it, I'm like, well, I can't throw this out. This is amazing. And this is 10 minutes long by itself. Okay, it's going to be a 20-minute video now. Well, I talked to Al Capone. I can't throw that out. All right, now it's a 30-minute video. Well, now it's 50 minutes long, and I'm just like, I give up. Whatever. It's a full thing now. I'm done. And it's I stretched it. I reused a couple B-roll clips because that's all I had. But
Yeah.
in the end, like I'm still pretty happy with it. And
Yeah.
it keeps some of the flavor of Expedition Entity, because that what you see is what you get. There's no sound effects. There's no like added stock footage. It's me sitting in a closet. It's me laying on a bed getting brothelized by probably 3 spirits, because I paid $3 and there were a lot of hands on me. And it's just sometimes things happen and sometimes they didn't. But boy, when they happened,
Did you sit in the closet
they happened.
in that main bedroom?
That was the closet in the kids' room.
The kids' room. Okay. When we
Yeah.
went, we didn't open. I didn't even know there was a chair in that closet. We actually hadn't opened the door. There was like a chair in the way, and we were just like, nah, we're just gonna sit here. We got some really cool
Oh no,
stuff happening.
I
in that kids'
moved the
room.
chair into the closet. I moved the chair in there.
Oh, gotcha.
So it might be in there still. I don't know, but yeah, I
That
put it in there.
that kids' room is creepy looking. All them
Well,
dolls
when
staring at
Shelly
you.
told me about it, Shelly always felt that the closet was like a portal to somewhere else.
Interesting.
And I'm like, well, if Shelly feels this, I'm going in the closet. Heck yeah. So we stuck me in this closet, and you know, this is an old apartment
Mm-hmm.
slash brothel. The
Yeah.
closet's not big. You know, it's like maybe 3 foot by 4 foot at most.
Yeah, it's not a big.
It's not big.
No.
But somehow I managed to squeeze me in a chair and a camera on a tripod with the legs squished against the wall,
Oh,
pointed down at my face, and then I used my left leg to like squeeze it against the wall so it didn't fall. And it worked. And
honestly, I
it
would have done
worked.
the same thing if I had I known about that, like that portal feeling. Yeah, Shelly didn't mention anything
Yeah.
like that to me, and I'm maybe it's because I didn't ask, maybe it's I don't know, but she was
Well,
very nice
when
to
she
me
brought it up,
when I talked to her.
we were talking about wanting when we brought it up, we were talking about wanting to do the SS in the closet. And that's where she's like, "Oh, I don't like that closet." I'm like, "Oh, do tell."
Why?
So
Yeah, let me
that kind of
know.
like that reinforced my wanting to be in the closet even more. But you know, Nikki, who did the investigation with me, we're kind of talking about it, and it's like, okay, if I'm in the closet and I've got noise canceling and I have my Phasma box going and the door is closed and you're sitting there talking into your microphone like this the whole time,
Yep.
you know, there's no way I'm going to be able to hear her. And I couldn't. And you know, she's like a lot of the things that she would say so quietly. And I'm like, yeah, but you can't tell because the way the microphones work. You know,
Yeah.
on the microphone, because they're 32-bit float, you know, you could be talking like this, but you're actually whispering.
Mm-hmm.
Just the microphone's picking it up better. So, you know, that was the only thing she was worried about. She's like, I don't want people to feel like, you know, I'm speaking so loudly that you can hear me. And it's like, I don't think they will. Plus, I'm in a whole another room with the door closed. Like
Yeah.
there's no way.
Yeah, because when we had done it,
Oh.
we had split it up. So we took a break at like I don't know, two in the morning, and
Mhm.
Mike had slept in like the living room area on that couch. He put his blanket down in a pillow and we curled up
Mhm.
there, and I put my blanket down on the bed and I had laid there, and we both had a camera on there just in case. So we plugged him in and we were shooting the entire time.
Mhm.
To my knowledge, nothing had happened. It wasn't until I think it was probably around 3:15, 4 o'clock. We had, and I don't know how you feel about this piece of gear, but we had a dead bell set up, and
Mhm.
we had one set up in the bathroom for whatever reason. Mike had put one in there, and it had dinged at like
Oh.
3:15, and it wasn't anywhere near any like electronic area. It was above the toilet. So
Yeah.
we're maybe Mary, the lady, one of the ladies from the brothel, or was using the toilet and said, "All right, I'm done." Ding, and called it a day. I don't know.
Ding.
Just, I'm done. Ding. You know, I
Right,
don't know.
right.
But I'm just sitting here, and that woke me up, and I was like, "Mike, did you hear that bell go off?" And he's out cold, and I'm like, "All right, like I'm gonna start investigating now." So I'm trying to be
Yeah.
quiet, and I'm using an Ovilus and a REM pod and stuff like that, and as much as I can. EVP sessions. Not a single thing happened until the bell dinged again. I'm like, all right, I guess. I don't know.
Could you imagine being a spirit and then just kind of walking around the place that you live? This is your place to live, and you go and sit on the toilet to talk to somebody else in the bathroom, and all of a sudden behind you hear ding.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just
What was that? Why
the
is this
fuck?
thing dinging at me?
Yeah, but like I don't know what prompted him to do it. He was just like, "Yeah, why not?" And I was like, "All right, I guess." So we had like a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff set up, cameras set up in every room that we could, And
Sure.
I'm just in like,
Sure. Sometimes your intuition just knows.
yeah,
Like you're like, no, I should put this on that chair instead. Oh, look, it went off.
yeah, weird. It's weird how it works.
I don't know.
There was a weird, I don't know if you looked into it, but there was a weird EMF like field in that kid's room.
I did
Like,
not look into anything.
okay. So we had a K2, and we had, as soon as we had clicked the button, Mike had walked in and it just started buzzing in his hand. And we were just like, all right, that's weird. But he had turned it 90 degrees and it would stop.
Hmm.
And I don't know, we don't know what that was about. We had it set up next to that Patty the doll that they like to use, that's like a custom REM pod
Yeah.
or whatever. We had
Yeah.
one set there and it would go off, but if you turned it or moved it like 2 inches to the left or right, it would stop.
Interesting.
And we don't know, we have no idea what that was about. I had messaged Shelly about that, and I was just like, I don't know. That's something to look into for future investigations, I guess. But like,
Sure.
it was weird.
Yeah, I don't know. We had EMFs and stuff set up. Like the first part in the lobby, or not the lobby, the sitting room in the brothel, there was just one of those like old $20 ghost meters where if it's like 1 milligauss, it goes off.
Mm-hmm.
It was just sitting on the couch and just decided it wanted to go off on its own now.
Interesting.
I had the EMF lantern on the other side of the room that didn't really go off. And then the tripwire, which went off a few times. But um, a lot of the style that I use now is more for communication
Mm-hmm.
and less for trying to find spots by luck.
That's fair.
Like I'll set stuff up and I'm like, listen, if you want to talk to me, you can light this up, and this means yes, and this means no. And this means that I'm an idiot and I asked the question in a bad way, and to rephrase it.
I
You'd
like
be
that.
surprised how many light up the last one, because they'll be like, no, ask that again. That's not right. Okay. But like my favorite thing is the Estes. I do
Yep.
it quite a bit. People tell me I'm good at it. I don't know why. It's just a thing. I do it. But I use the Phasma box, and it's a Windows tablet where the microphone is
Yep.
turned off.
Yep.
And there's no internet connection. It's just the tablet by itself.
We use
And-
the Fazla box sometimes too.
I
I've
love
never
it.
tried that with Estes.
I love it.
No,
It takes a minute to get used to.
Yeah,
'Cause
I've
there's
tried
a
it at
lot
the
going
Asylum,
on.
Taylor. That's why I was hesitant to try it anywhere else, just because it, like Larry said, it takes a minute to get used to.
Okay.
It does. And that's why, like, when I'm in the closet wearing the Phasma box headphones, it kind of starts slow. Like there's long stretches where I'm not saying anything because I'm just not used to it yet.
Mhm.
And then, as time goes on, you get a couple minutes into it, all of a sudden it's response, because
Yeah,
I'm now accustomed to the device.
Mhm.
And even when I do events, it's the same thing. I'll tell people that are asking the questions like, hey, any questions that you ask now, ask again in 5 minutes, because I'll be warmed up then.
for sure.
And, like, look at the OBI video, like weird things came across.
Yeah.
Nikki was laughing at me because of something that she had said. And then half a second later, I hear laughing in my headphones, and I say, there's laughter. And then it's just the two of them, or four of however many spirits there were, and Nikki just laughing at each other back and forth. But they're
Yeah.
laughing at me because I can't hear them. Or, all the times that Nikki like offered me up to the spirits like a piece of meat. Like, do you want Larry to go lay in your bed now? And I don't know what she's saying, but all of a sudden I'm just like, yeah, bring him back. Like, okay. Well, that was a surprise to watch all that and be like, yeah, you really put me out to market there.
Yeah, for sure.
Like half off, he's all yours, ladies.
I do have a
ooh,
question for you. So,
Sure.
since we're on the kind of the topic of like equipment, and you already said like your favorite thing to do, I was watching trailers or like little snippets on YouTube of your group, and I wanted to ask, what is this like technique or piece of equipment you guys were using? It looks like an electric lava lamp, and then you were using like a tuning
Ah.
fork.
So that's two different things.
Okay.
But we try to use them together at the same time. The lava lamp is basically an EMF pump.
Okay.
But it's only like $30 from Spencer's. Whereas if you go to get like a real EMF pump, they're like $300.
Yeah.
Just get one of those plasma lamps where like if you touch it and the electricity goes to your fingertips,
Uh-huh.
that puts out like a 3-foot radius of pegged EMF.
All
Like
right.
it's strong. It puts out a lot. So we got that as an EMF pump, and then the tuning fork. The idea is that everything is vibrations, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in that, the way that our voice comes across is also vibrations. Some of us lower, some of us higher. But when we hear things such as EVPs, they tend to be on the lower side. So our thought was by hitting the tuning fork, that gives them almost like a white noise or something that their voice can ride on to make it easier to hear.
I've never seen anyone like use something like that, so I was super intrigued.
So it was in a few episodes, and since the show ended, I haven't filmed it since. But we added the Lucid headphones to that. Do you know what the Lucid headphones are?
I
No,
think so.
So
I
my
don't.
my friends Nat and Elliot from ACG Paranormal came up with the Lucid technique, and they're basically bionic ears. If you put these on, the little microphones on them, you could hear somebody whispering on the other side of the hallway in Brodhead.
Oh, wow.
And that's like a good 100 feet away. So what they would do is they would set up like an SB7 and a speaker in one room and then go to the other end of the building and listen to it on the headphones.
Oh, that's
These
clever.
things, they're wild. I've done events where I've handed them out to people and they can hear whispering and footsteps in the hallway outside of the room that we're in.
Oh,
So
wow.
they're again another device that's hard to get used to, but once you do, you can start picking things up that's not normally heard. Well, when you add that tuning fork to these Lucids, those voices come out clear now.
Yeah.
The problem
Okay,
is that
so it's
you can't record it because someone's listening to it, so you can't verify it. But it's still interesting.
Yeah.
yeah, that's really cool. Because I do tours at or guided investigations at the Sheboygan Asylum and the
Mhm.
old Glen Beulah School,
Mhm.
and I started
You're
letting
part of
people.
Craig's group.
Yep.
Yeah.
I volunteer for them.
Right.
But I started letting guests use a parabolic microphone that I brought in.
Same thing.
That's so cool. Like,
The only difference is the parabolic is more targeted in a direction, whereas the Lucids are they're more omnidirectional. So
okay.
you're just getting everything.
Okay.
But when you learn how to use them or you get accustomed to using them, and then you can focus in a direction that you're hearing stuff from, you can hear a lot. You can hear taps that normally no one would be able to hear, footsteps and whispers, and even things riding on the vibrations of a tuning fork.
That's so cool.
That's really cool.
So I haven't been able to find any responses that are super significant. A lot of them are super short answers, very similar to EVPs though. A lot of EVPs you're getting, 1, 2, 3 words tops.
Yeah.
Same thing with the tuning fork. You're only getting 1 or 2 words. It's not like a spirit box where you can get a whole sentence,
Right.
but you're still getting words, and it's being detected through that tuning fork. So it's one of the tests that my partner Dan came up with before he retired from the paranormal, and it's yielding results. It's just kind of annoying to listen to because it's just in your ears the whole time.
Right.
And then I'm at home editing it like, God, I hate this. But it's way better than the noise that SB7 makes.
Oh my God. Yeah. Sitting
It's
there and
gotta be.
listening to that over and over because you're just trying to see, like, oh, what came through, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. And you just
Yeah.
lose your mind.
Yeah. I used to do SB7 Estes, and then the earphone jack or headphone jack on my SB7 started to go out. So
Oh,
I stopped doing it because of that. Eventually I'll get the $100 together to get another SB7, but for now it's not important. But I use the Delco goggles, and if you start the SB7 and turn the goggles on at the right time, then the slow flash of the goggles will sync up to the 250 millisecond SB7. To where now it's going at the same rate your goggles are blinking, and it's almost hypnotizing.
yeah, I
And you
bet.
could really get in super deep with that. And I'm so sad that my SB7 kinked out on me. But I'm also very happy with my Phasma box, so
Yeah.
I'm not too sad about it. I love the Phasma box.
I'm glad you say that because I stopped using it for a while just because when I was watching some other people do like investigations and stuff, they're using
Mhm.
all these different types of like apps and stuff. I'm like, and especially ghost tube apps. I'm like, guys, what are we doing here?
All the ghost tube is bad.
I'm like, guys, what are we doing here? Like, we need to stop
They're
this.
they're they're fun. They're
They're
fun
fun. They're
apps.
for
They're
entertainment
fun
purposes.
apps. 100%. 100%.
Um, so that's why
But
I
the
was
cool
like,
thing about the Phasma
stepping
though
down.
is you could use Bluetooth headphones.
Yes, that is true.
There no more like 5 foot cables wrapping around your neck or anything
Yep.
like that. It's just pop, done, you're good to go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
there's a
agree.
benefit.
I agree. But maybe it's something we'll bring back, Taylor. I think maybe that's something we should bring back.
I loved it. We used it at Brodhead and we
We did
played
use that Brodhead.
hide and
Hide and
seek.
seek. We played hide and seek
Hmm.
with the kids in the
Hmm.
gym. That was fun.
Hmm.
Um,
There
but
have been
let's
times where we've investigated with it, and like the responses will be super echoey, and you can't understand what it's saying. It's just like
yeah.
the whole time. I've literally asked them, and I said, "Hey, listen, I can't understand these super echoey responses. If you want to talk to me, you can't use that, and then it won't anymore.
That's cool.
Like they'll stop with the echoey responses, and I'm like, okay, well, how do you explain that?
Right. No, that's
Co- Come on. If this
that's
was
really cool.
pre-programmed and the microphone is turned off,
Yeah.
how did it do that?
Right. That's really
So
cool.
it's it's a it's a weird app. I will say it. It's a weird app.
It's a weird app. But I want to talk to you about like what got you into investigating and what because I'm a film guy and I work for
Mhm.
a media company right now and I edit
Mhm.
videos like all the live long day. What got you into going into film and documentaries and such?
So I originally wasn't into it at all. I had a YouTube gaming channel. Oh my God. Uh 10 years ago for a game called Rust. Like
Ross.
the most toxic game ever.
Oh my
But I was
gosh.
a YouTuber for it, and I made a couple $100 a month doing it. So it entertained me, and I learned how to edit because of that. I learned a lot about viewership and insights and all that stuff, what worked and what didn't work, and how the programs worked and whatnot. And eventually, at some point, I just got sick of Rust. I got sick of editing 3 to 4 videos a day for 16 hours a day with no breaks because the Rust community is super toxic.
Yep.
And
What I've
for
heard.
some reason, I wanted to go back to college. So I started my associates. I gave up. I dropped everything. Like
Uh-oh.
no more Rust, no more video games, 100% into college. I get my associates and I'm like, I'm gonna get my bachelor's degree in history because I love history and I'm gonna be a history teacher. So that's my major. I'm doing history and having a great time at it, still investigating. And I needed a minor and I don't like anything else. So just by chance, I run into the guy that runs the minor program at Northern Illinois University for communications, which is where film is under,
Mm-hmm.
because they classify film as visual rhetoric,
Yep.
so it falls under communications. So he's like, just do comms. You could do it as a minor. You could take a couple film classes. You can have a good time. It's no big deal. By the time I graduate with my bachelor's in history, I almost have enough to make comms my major.
Oh wow.
I'd taken almost every single film class the school had that was available to me, with the exception of like three, and all of a sudden switched everything over to film. I still got the history degree because it was too late to fully switch it over, and I didn't want to keep going to school anymore. But I graduated with all this film experience, and that was around the time that we started doing Expedition Entity, because I'm doing all this film stuff in class, and I'm like, I want to do this. I could keep this going. This is a lot of fun. I like doing this. I sunk a lot of money into the gear, and all of a sudden, Expedition Entity on Paraflix is born. So we get to my last semester, and one of my professors, he approaches me and he goes, "Hey, listen, the master's program has an opening for a teaching assistant for film. Would you like to do it?" And I'm like, I don't want to go back to school anymore. Like I've been here for like 4 years. I'm done. And then he goes, there's a salary, there's a stipend that you get paid once a month. And it was enough for me to go, I'm gonna go teach film at college now.
That's fair.
So I went and taught film for 2 years, and then took a couple more film classes that I missed. Luckily, they were still available, and really rounded out kind of my film education to where now I'm able to apply a lot of that to things outside of the paranormal. Things that I would have never done before because I didn't take the class for it until the master's program.
Wow.
So I'm kind of all in on film now. And it was kind of a freak chance because I needed a minor, and I ran into the dude that happened to be like, just do it. It's easy. You'll get an easy A. All right. Thanks a lot, dude.
Yeah, because I went to the wrong school. My degree is technically mass media. So like that incorporates like your social media management and film, radio, television, your broadcast, and you got
all of that's under communications.
All of that. Yeah. My degree is I majored in communications, got my emphasis in mass media. I should have went to a school that had the communications program, but had that more emphasis on film like I wanted. Oh well, I'm not going to go back to school now. I'm 28 years old and I'm done. Like I got my degree. I'm done. I'm working my job that I got now. I'm good.
I started my associates at 30.
Oh,
so I just graduated in May.
I don't want to do it now.
I graduated in May at 36. So it's never too late.
It's never too late. I just don't want to do it.
I don't blame you because I did it for 6 years and I want nothing to do with college ever again. I'm done.
I'm done. I originally wanted to be a math teacher. Like that's something we kind of had. It kind of was like, oh, we're gonna be a teacher.
I love history. I love history.
I love math. And then all of a sudden, I got into some of the math classes and I was passing them. I was doing really well in them. And then I was like, you know what? I really don't want to teach kids. And I pivoted during my associate when I was getting my associate's degree. I had pivoted and I went, nah, I want to do something I be passionate about.
I must have pivoted super late because I was halfway through my bachelor's. So
all right, well, I took all the math classes that I could because I really like math. And it was in my first 2 years of college. I went, nah, I don't want to teach kids, and I'm going to do something I'm passionate about. And I love making videos and entertaining people. And, here I am, however many years later. And
I give you guys credit for lasting that long because I only went to college for 2 years. I was like, yeah, that. I can't do this anymore.
If they didn't offer me that paid stipend for the last 2 years, I wouldn't have done it. I was so burnt out. Plus, it was the COVID years for college, and that sucked.
Did you have to do everything online, basically?
And that's where a lot of classes disappeared because they're film classes. You have to be in person in the lab.
Yeah.
And then they never came back. So it's like, well, finally, when I was there for the masters, 2 of them came back, and I ended up teaching one of them. It was a studio broadcast course.
Nice.
So we had like a news station set up and the pedestals and all that, the switchboard, all that. It was really cool. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot. And I learned some things that I can bring into production too. And then the other one was, what was it? I can't remember what the other class was now. Anyway, so there's another class.
Then it wasn't that important.
It wasn't. It was just a cool class. But COVID killed it. So yeah, if I wasn't paid, I would not have done it. Now looking back though, I did enjoy it. And the cool thing is like I do other things now. I just did Days of the Dead, right? I'm putting stuff out slowly about Days of the Dead.
Mhm.
I brought one of my students to Days of the Dead, and she ran the camera for me on Saturday.
That's cool.
So it's like I'm still kind of teaching people film, kind of, a little bit,
You're doing it on your own terms.
but I'm not getting paid for it. So I kind of downgraded in that end. But I also do workshops at paranormal conferences where I teach film techniques to the paranormal people that do film. So, and then I'll take examples from the major TV shows. Like I have a couple examples from what is it? Holzer Files of like
Oh,
an
yeah.
over the shoulder
Good
or a
example.
two shot or Ghost Adventures. Like a mid shot, a close up. When I'm explaining what these things look like, I use examples from paranormal TV. And then that way people are like, "Oh, I get it now." And the topic matter relates. But in that regard, I still teach film. But otherwise, it's just like I'm so much happier sitting on a set, just doing the stuff now.
Right.
It's much better than sitting in the classroom, grading videos and telling people why they messed up and how they can fix it. I'm done. I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah. No, I get that. I should send you one of our newer videos. Just I want your critiques on my camera work because I had to do them solo. So
What are you using?
I got a Canon. It's one of the older ones, and then I use Sony cameras. I got the Handycam like AX53 and 33.
Oh, yeah. Those are our static cams now.
Yeah,
When
I've been
we
using a lot of
started-
them for static. I got a couple now. So
When we started Expedition Eddie, those were the main investigation cameras. And then I bought two Panasonic X1500s.
that's the ones
Which-
I want to get so badly. I was looking into those.
The
No,
key
I mean,
difference
I was looking at
is,
the 2000s too, but
2000, the only difference is the microphone handle.
yeah,
That's the only difference. And I don't need that because all my stuff's wireless.
that's fair.
But the difference between the two, though, is the Sony, the 33 or the 53, those are 8-bit video. So that's where you're going to get a lot of your noise in the shadows. It's just going to be blocky, and especially streaming, it's not going to look the best.
Yeah.
Whereas the Panasonic, that's 10-bit video. You're getting so much more fine detail. You're still going to have noise in the shadows,
Yeah.
but it's so much less noticeable on the 10-bit camera.
Yeah, like the camera I'm using right now is the ZV-1. That's the camera that I'm using for Zoom right now. And I don't know, to me it looks pretty clear until I export it. So and then then Zoom downgrades it and does its thing.
Yeah.
So puts it at like
I'll look at your stuff, but I have to be honest, I'm a very harsh grader.
I understand,
break your heart.
sir.
It's
okay. I'd rather
sugarcoat.
Larry break my heart than somebody else.
I wouldn't say break your heart, but I don't sugarcoat. If you're off on your framing by an inch, I will tell you that you're off, and you need to move your subject over a little bit.
All right, maybe
Or
well,
we're gonna hammer the 180 rule super hard. You have to adhere to the 180 rule. The only time you break the 180 rule is in narrative film if it's done for a purpose.
That's fair.
That drives me nuts. When these paranormal shows, they break the 180 rule, and it's like, why are you over here now? That makes zero sense. You went in a complete like 270. Why are you going this way? And they do it all the time.
All right, well, I'll be honest with you. I shoot it like this, so like when I have my hand
That's okay. That's okay, and that's a style. That's okay. POV and whatnot, that's a whole thing all on its own. So, but it's when you're framing up other people, like if you're doing an interview, the person needs to be sitting this way as they
Yeah,
talk,
yeah.
not this way.
Yeah, don't
And
look
you'd
at
be
our older
surprised.
stuff. Don't look at our older stuff.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many paranormal videos I see and someone's talking straight into the frame of the video.
Oh, I
And it's
hate
like,
that. No, I understand.
move them this way.
Oh boy, I used to work in TV news, and yeah, it's that's a whole bag. So I understand that, but I don't shoot
Oh,
interviews
they're
anymore.
super strict. They're super strict.
We don't include our interviews anymore. We kind of just like, we either go in blind with like a little bit of research here and there, or we'll meet up with somebody who's going to give us like a walkthrough of the place, but we don't film that anymore.
Sure.
Because
we stopped doing that after Cheney Mansion.
Yeah.
And it's only because it got too long, and or like I felt like I needed to include this, and this, and then we didn't. Like in hindsight, it just dragged it out too long, and I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore.
It's an art to reduce those down.
Yeah, it's not an art I've mastered yet.
I think the walkthrough I did with Nikki for OBI was 15, 20 minutes long, and then I got to cut down to 8. And I'm literally going through it with a machete, just like slash, that's gone. We don't need that. That's got to go. We're only keeping this part, and we're going to transition our way through it.
Taylor, I wonder how it would work now, because all the videos I do for work are basically interviews.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder how I'd be able to like put that together now. I'm not gonna, but I wonder how.
So the thing is like our future stuff, if we have someone to like interview, it doesn't hurt to try. And then you look at the footage and be like, nah, and just don't use it. But it doesn't help.
I think if it's something, if it's something we probably
help.
should, then yeah. But
as long as you explain to the people like, hey, this footage may or may not be used. Because when someone sits for an interview, they're expecting to be seen.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I had just actually done investigation at the Grand Oshkosh too, and I had called and I was like, "Hi, I'm shooting a video here tonight. Like, I'm the guy coming in tonight, and I have a quick question." And she goes, "Oh my gosh, please don't tell me I'm going to be on camera." I was like, "No, don't worry. I don't like. We don't have to. Don't. It's."
Yep. Yeah, I always ran into that too. So many people are like, I don't want to be interviewed. I'm like, well, then is there another staff member that wants to? Like, oh yeah, Bob will do it. Well, then you better get Bob there, otherwise you're going on.
Put Bob on the phone right now.
There was a few times where Bob didn't show up, and this little girl sitting there going, I can't do this. I'm like, you're gonna be perfectly fine. I'm gonna be sitting with you the whole way.
Yep.
Don't look at the camera, look straight at me, and we're gonna have a conversation. And then you switch from interview to conversation, and then you pray to God you could edit it to be something coherent.
Yep. That's exactly what I do for work every day.
Sometimes it doesn't work, and you're just like,
And all we do is interview doctors and stuff. That's mainly what my clients are. And I'm like, don't look at me, because I'm the one on the screen, because we remote in. I'm like, don't look at me, look at that guy. And I'm gonna make you look as good as I can. And I don't say as good as I can, but I'm gonna make you look good. I'm
gonna make you look real good.
I'm gonna make you look clear, crisp, and we're gonna make sure every patient recommends you. That's what I tell them.
Yeah. We did the interview at Days of the Dead, and the lamp behind the subject is a very almost orange lamp. It's super, super yellow. And the lights above us are also super, super yellow. I don't know what's going on with that hotel. Everything is yellow in Concourse B. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, well, I need to match my light to the light that's already here. And then I'll just adjust it in post. I'll get rid of a lot of that orange and put in some blue. So, there's a couple people who are like, this looks so ugly in here. I don't know if you're going to be able to fix this lighting. I got it. Don't worry. I already planned ahead for this. And some of the ones that I put out, one of the people sent me a message and they're like, I can't believe how good I look. I'm like,
yeah.
Ta-da.
I planned for this. I know how to do this. It looks ugly as hell on camera, because it hasn't gone through DaVinci Resolve yet.
Yes, I finally found somebody else who uses DaVinci. Everybody else uses Premiere.
I use Premiere primarily, but anytime I do noise reduction, color correction, and anything remotely close to that, it's all done on Resolve.
Oh, I do everything
Because
in Resolve.
I haven't gotten to that point yet. I like Resolve because I can export the individual clips out without any extra effort.
Yeah,
I'll literally put all the
really
clips in
nice.
the timeline, adjust because I use all the same cameras. I'll put the same look on all the clips for the interviews. They all get done with one click, and then hit export, and then off they go.
Yep.
Done. So, and then I'll put them in Resolve, and then I'll do Premiere, and then I'll do whatever I have to do in Premiere. But I don't know if I'll ever be able to get away from the way that Premiere does it. I might be too set in my ways for that one.
I used to
But
do
I will
Premiere
say that
primarily.
yeah, Resolve's a great program.
Resolve is awesome. Like we
Yeah.
all of my subscription was through my work, and that's how I would use it. But now I got DaVinci Resolve, and we had gotten away from Premiere because we didn't want to keep spending like money on it. And I get it, Premiere.
It's like $400 a year.
All the Adobe stuff, yeah, for one license is $400 a year, like to get everything. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's BS.
Yeah. But at the same time, I use Photoshop, I use Lightroom,
Yeah.
I use Adobe Acrobat for my e-signing documents. I use it all. So it's like I don't know if I can get away from it.
Yeah, losing Photoshop was a big hit for me.
Yeah.
Because I would do some stuff in there.
Yeah.
But oh well. The videos turn out well.
At least
enough
you
for
have
me
Resolve,
in
though.
Resolve.
Yeah. Yeah. I did color correction in Premiere because I've got my monitor here, my laptop down here, right?
Yep.
Right. It's like a stacked thing. So I had Resolve up here and then Premiere down here, and I color corrected both identically. Same clip with the same settings, and Resolve made it look better.
Yep.
And I'm just like, that's it. Color correction on Resolve now.
Yep.
Done deal. And like some of the ones some of the screen grabs I pulled out, they're not even fully finished screen grabs. I just put a basic color correction on it and said, here you go. And like the one with the lady in the red dress and the big hat. Oh my God, she looks amazing.
She looks great, dude.
She looks gorgeous. And then the clown, that's Larry Lutz. He is kind of a big part of Days of the Dead. He's Mr. Sprinkles, I believe is his costume name. He looks incredible. And it's just like Premiere did not do that. That's all Resolve.
Oh, Resolve for a win, at least in some level.
There are a lot of people that I work with. They think the same thing. They'll edit in Final Cut or Premiere, but anything to do with color, they go straight to Resolve.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they'll actually they go out of order. They'll color correct first and then go into edit because they don't want to have to like piece it together later.
Yeah. That's
by
fair.
color correcting last. And I'm like, I totally get that because it's kind of a pain to go back later and color correct and then try to piece those pieces in there.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of what I've been doing. I've been color correcting first just to get a good look, get some cool screenshots so people can see that I'm actually working on this project, and then start going to town on it. And it's working. Happy. As happy as I can.
That's what
be with the
matters is
MacBook
you're happy with the
2019.
product. Because if you're happy
Yeah,
with the product 9 times out of 10, the client is going to be happy with the product.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the feedback I've had from the last 3 small videos I did was, oh my God, this is incredible. Like the colors are so good. Resolve. Ta-da.
Ta-da! But let's go back to paranormal just because I feel like I could gush about film and editing programs and shit all day. I'm not gonna lie.
I could too.
That's the problem is I could talk about that all day. But the paranormal specifically, is there a spot that you've investigated? I know you hate driving to Wisconsin because it's just fields and shit, and I understand.
Well, Illinois is not all that different. There's a lot of
I
fields
know.
here too.
I was trying to be nice. Still annoying for once.
It's not the fields that get me. It's the fact that there isn't a straight road between my house and Brodhead.
No.
It's like this the whole way.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
come on, just give me one road, please.
Is there a spot that you've investigated, whether through Expedition Entity, now that you said it was over, or
Mhm.
even in your time now where you're going to different places and you're investigating and making maybe like little promotional videos for these spots? Is there a spot you're like, I am never going back there again, that place is too scary?
It's
No,
like every place for Blaine.
no.
Shut up.
I've been with groups who are like, this is the most terrifying place I've ever been to. If you weren't here, I would not be here right now because I'm terrified to be here. And I walk into that place and it's like, there's nothing here. Like, what are you so scared of? Like, I don't know. But I will say though that through, I don't know what you want to call it, enlightenment, not through training, through conversating with numerous people, I have learned that I'm a light worker.
Okay.
And I'm a very specific type of light worker. And I feel like this is also why I don't get attachments and I don't really get attacked very much. I'm a light worker that's called a light keeper.
Okay.
Basically, I'm a gigantic lighthouse. And all I do is put out light, endless amounts of light. And it's all just light in copious amounts, and I have almost no control over it. I'm just a walking light bulb. And I'm like, okay, well, if you walk into the deepest, darkest place and all of a sudden you're just like, yeah, no, I don't really feel anything. I feel pretty good in here. Maybe it's because you're just emanating so much light. All the dark stuff is like, I'm not messing with that. I'm going to go over here now.
Interesting.
I love that.
So it works for me. It's an easy explanation, but there's been times where like I walk into a location and like I can feel the area that I can sense expand. And it's like, okay, this feels kind of weird. And that's the area from what I've been told that my light touches.
So not
Okay.
to like make you choose, but do you have a place that you recommend people should investigate, like that you think was
Should?
super good? Yeah.
Ooh. So there's a spot that I've been tinkering with a little bit now. I've been there twice and I've planned to go back once the weather doesn't try to kill us outside. And that's the Jericho Haunted Trinity.
We've been there so many times.
I know you guys have.
At least once a year.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you guys have because of Craig, but I was
Oh, not
just there the
even
first time.
just because of Craig. Just we
Because we
started
like it
there.
there.
That was the first space we
Oh.
went to, and
And
then
now
Yeah.
Warhorse Paranormal is
and
in
now
charge
Warhorse
of, like,
is
taking
helping
care
in
of
charge,
it.
and they're
Yeah.
renovating the place.
Steve and Kayla.
They're
Yeah.
amazing. Love them.
Yeah.
Actually had them on
So
the pod too.
I went out there. Actually, it was the weekend of Craig's conference. What was that, September?
Yeah.
I think it's September. That
Yeah.
was the first time I went. I was part of a group that paid to get in. And I'm just kind of like getting a feel for the place. I'm like, this place is kind of neat, actually. Yeah, I kind of like this. But we were in a big group of 10, so we had a couple interesting things happen, but I like small group. I like, 3 to 4 people max. That's it. Because I can verify where you were and whether you were making a noise or not.
Mhm.
I can't have people in the other side of the building walking around because now that's not a ghost, it's a person.
Yep.
So as much fun as I had with the large group, I wanted to go back. So I set something up to go back. And this time I brought Nikki, who like knows Jericho like the back of her hand, and my friend Neil, who had never been there before, but he has this gigantic Anahata box. That's his big portal box.
Okay.
And I'm like Neil, you got to see this place. We're gonna go. And Nikki and Neil like each other. They work well together, so it worked out. Just the 3 of us. And that was the Jericho reels that I put out a couple months ago,
Okay.
where the basement of the school, we're talking to a spirit, and they're talking about being beaten in the cold storage room off the kitchen.
Yep.
And we're speaking with the spirit in the convent attic. And I'm doing Estes. I don't know. I actually don't really remember the question. It was something along the lines of trying to get a name. and they established that it was one of the reverends. I think it's a reverend. And they're like, can you please give us a name? And then I say Ken. And they don't know this. So they're just going with Ken. Oh, hi, Ken. How are you? And all that stuff. Well, at the end of the session, I'm like, so, who were we talking to? Oh, we were talking to the priest. I'm like, oh, cool. He said his name was Ken. And I'm like, yeah, that's his name.
Right?
That's his name. They're like, what do you mean that's his name? His name's Kenneth Rogers. That's the name of the priest that was here for forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then even Nikki didn't know the name. And they're both like, oh, like that's Jericho.
It makes me so happy that Jericho's it has so much positive like experiences where people want to keep coming back.
It's just it's a lighthouse itself.
Kinda. And I understand, we're talking early 1900s Catholic, I believe it was. School, convent, whatever.
18 something it was built.
It was built. Well, then it burned down and then was rebuilt.
The church had burned down. Yeah. Like the one that's on the property, I think is like the third one.
Yeah. But and I understand, some bad stuff happened. There are stories of students that are still alive today that have scars on their hands from being rulered. That's just kind of how it was at the time.
Yep.
We don't have to like it, but we just have to acknowledge that it happened. So, but still getting stuff that relates to that is super interesting to me.
Yeah.
It ties into the history. I love history, but they're really intelligent conversations. And I'll take an intelligent conversation over all the blippy lights and sounds in the world.
For sure.
Tell me something really cool that I can tell someone else in a story, and I'm happy.
Me too.
So you'd recommend the Jericho Trinity for people to investigate?
We would too.
Yeah.
11 out of 10 would recommend.
And now that they've got the convent heated with beds and I believe water, it's a lot more comfortable stay.
Yes.
Oh God, yeah.
So when I was there was no heat, and the bathroom wasn't ready yet. There was still the porta potty, but there was like a little heating fans or whatever they're called.
Oh God,
Space
yeah,
heater.
they don't work.
The one works fairly well as long as you're in front of it.
So we went in January, and there was a big snowstorm. It was -8. And you had to go out in the porta potty, I think, to use the bathroom. Yeah. I got frostbite, and those space heaters did not work. So I'm sitting on the couch like this, like I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I can't warm up. And like Blaine keeps like showing these silly little screen grabs of me in the church, just frozen solid, trying to investigate.
Well,
yeah,
we were because we had also brought Mike with us, so we wanted it to be like the start of our, I don't know, investigation season, I guess you could say, for this year. And that's why we booked it in January. And when I booked it, the weather was still 40 degrees out. It maybe hit 20 degrees at night. No snow. The week we go, a big ass snowstorm comes through. It's -10 degrees at night. And we're like,
the snow is up to our knees.
Go. Yeah, because
we had to trudge through it.
Because no one plowed it.
Sure.
It was horrible.
I fell in the snow. I couldn't use my gloves anymore because they were packed in.
Yeah.
Sucked.
I plan to go back sometime in the spring after all the snow business is done.
Yes.
Because I don't want to deal with that. I have too much gear that cannot get damp in the slightest.
Yeah, no.
So we're gonna skip all that noise. But yeah, that's like the new location for me right now, where it's like, ooh, Jericho, ooh, Jericho, ooh, Jericho.
I love
that
spot
awesome.
So much.
So, and it's only like a 3-hour drive, so it's not too bad.
Yeah. For you,
horrible. Brodhead's like an hour and a half. So there's been times where Bill's like, hey, we got an event. Do you want to work it? When is it? Tomorrow. Yeah, I guess. And then I'll be sitting there doing the event until midnight. And then I'm like, cool, Bill, I'm going to get going. I'm going to head home. It's going to take me an hour and a half. And then we'll be kind of chit-chatting. And then I'll look at my watch and be like, Bill, it's 4:00 in the morning. I got to go. We've sat here for 4 hours talking. I need to go home. And then 30 minutes later, okay, now I gotta really go now, Bill.
It's the
I want to get
Midwest
home.
goodbye.
It's the Midwest.
I'm gonna get home
goodbye.
at 6 a.m. Yeah. And focus. And I'll bring that story up to him, and he's always like, "You're the one that sat down. You're the one that started talking." I'm like, "It takes two to tango. You're just as much at fault as this as I am."
Damn it, Bill.
It's both of us. It's both of us.
I want to go back to
But
Brodhead.
I want to go back to Brodhead.
There's like 4 events that I'm doing this year at Brodhead, I think.
Oh, hell yeah.
There's a couple private events, and then there's at least 2 big events. I'm doing the Paranormal Rockdown, which is in July, and then I'm a part of the investigation crew for that. And then I think there's 2 private events, and then there's another event that's kind of in the works right now, but I'm a part of the investigation crew for that as well.
Nice.
So, and then there's going to be some time where Bill's like, "Hey, can you come lead an investigation this weekend?" Yeah. Are you going to feed me? Yeah, I'll feed you. All right, I'll come up.
I should message Bill and be like, man, if you also need help, I'm also down. I'll drive the 2.5 hours it is. I don't care. I love that place so much.
I'm a little different though.
I know
I've spent quite a bit of time in that building, and I could show up to a group, any group, and if you put me on the 3rd floor, you're gonna get stuff. Those teenagers on the 3rd floor,
they
love
messing
with me.
With Blaine too.
Yeah, they love messing with me because I bring my teenager to investigate there. So I'm under the assumption that I'm the cool dad, and they love to mess with the cool dad. Don't pop my bubble. Don't. I need this bubble. I'm keeping this bubble. I'm the cool dad, and that's why they like me. Don't pop my bubble.
Pop your bubble.
Don't
man.
pop it. Thank you. Don't do it. I need this bubble.
I met you today.
Don't pop.
I can't pop your bubble, Larry.
Don't pop my bubble. I live on this. I live on this bubble. But I love Brodhead.
Yeah, that place is amazing. I want to make
the
a
next time you guys go back,
there.
let me know.
Absolutely.
If I'm available that weekend, I'll pop in. It's only an hour and a half away. So
hell yeah. I want to make a better video. Like Bill was happy with the video that we had put out, but I want to do something. I've learned a lot in that year. I want to do a better one. I want to do that place more justice than what we did.
So Blaine, let's plan this so we can actually have this set up for this year.
Hell yeah. We'll do it when we're not talking so people don't just like show up because Larry's super ultra cool dad famous.
I've
we
had
also have to
people
wait till he
show up
opens it back up.
So I think that's March, but I've had people show up to things. We're like, "Oh, when do you want to get? Let's do it. I don't know. Let's do this weekend in April." And then like 15 people show up, and you're like, "Who? Why are you here? Who are you?
Who are you?
Oh, we thought we were invited too. We heard on the podcast. No, you need to go home.
No, we'll discuss that off
This
air.
is a private.
See, that's when you just gotta bleep that entire section. Just beep.
No, we'll talk about it off air. That's not an on-air conversation.
No. We've learned from that mistake. Same with we're gonna go and film this weekend. We're gonna be at Brodhead. People show up to film. They're like, "I want to be in your documentary. I want to be in your episode." No,
I don't care.
Go home.
Go home.
Go away.
Unless you got something cool to tell me, get out of here. Kick rocks.
So there is a big project I have coming up in 2025 that will involve other investigators. That I will be putting information out, being like, "Hey, come to this casting call. I will be interviewing people." That's like the one and only time I've ever open invited people. Everything else, it's like, "Hey, I'm going to be gone this weekend. Don't show up here. Yeah, please don't show up," because I will be mean about it, and I don't want to be mean. I like being a nice person.
I do too. I don't like people just showing up, and that's why I don't tell people like when we're like promoting our stuff on like our other social media platforms, like, "Oh, we got a bunch of cool stuff planned ahead." I'm not going to tell you when I'm shooting because I just don't want a random dude coming up to me. Like, even if they don't even watch our stuff, like, I don't want people to know that I'm out of my house. I like to let people think I'm a hermit and I sit in my own home.
It doesn't really work when you go to like 15 conferences plus a year.
No, that's different.
They know you're out of your house.
Yeah, it's
Uh, and,
different.
and I make a point to live stream my journey, so they definitely know I'm out of my house. Um, but there've been a few events where I tell people like, hey, I'm filming this event. There's going to be a short like for OBI. You could
Mhm.
see the people in the bottom shot of the first part of the investigation. They're from the event. Everybody knew, hey, we're filming part of this for a little video. You're going to be in it. By purchasing this ticket, you've already given me consent. Congratulations.
Yep.
But you'd be surprised how many people will be like, hey, can I ask you a question? And then go into this like 10-minute explanation. And it's like, I'm filming. Like I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
You have to stop and wait till later.
Yeah.
I'm filming right now.
Yep.
So it gets kind of wild. A little wild. But it's fun. I enjoy it.
I would assume so. You still do it, so
I still do it. And I'm taking on more projects every day, it feels like. I think for 25 I have 8 or 9 lined up.
nice.
And I think only 3 of them are for me. All the rest are for other people. And it's like cool, I'll do your project, but I'm not gonna edit it. So unless you have an editor, you have to pay my editor.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna bill you and then I'll just pay him out. And people are very surprised how much video editing costs.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not cheap.
No.
It's
No.
like on the cheap end for a 50-minute video, like a good editor on the cheap end is like $2,000.
Yeah, because you charge by however much per minute. So
Right. Right. So, and then it's up to them to get it done in a reasonable time.
yeah. When
Because then if they don't, then there's issues.
I was doing freelance for a while and I lowballed it. I was like, look, like I'll put this together. This is what I'm going to charge you only because I don't know what your project actually is. And I don't want to like screw it up for you entirely because you might see my project and be like, oh no, that sucks. I'm going to go somewhere else. Fair, cool. And then or there was a point where I was very stupid and I was just like, here, I'll do it for free. But like only because you don't know what like my editing abilities are.
Sure.
And I don't do that anymore because, I need money.
There was
broke.
that time where I recommended you to someone and he
Money's so
sent you all
good.
the
Never do
silliest
that
shit.
again. Never do that
Yeah.
again, Taylor. Oh my
I-
God. What an awful
Yeah.
video that was.
I've had so many friends who are like, I could give you like a couple $100. And I'm like, for a 1-minute video?
Yeah.
Like, well, no, like 20.
No.
Do I have to get stock footage? Do I have to do the sound design? Do I have to do the color correction? Do I have to do the audio editing? It's not going to be a couple $100.
No, that's
Sorry.
the whole
Sorry.
shebang, baby.
It's a
This game's a
whole
business.
shebang. And it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
17 episodes of Expedition Entity. On average, each episode was 70-ish hours of editing. And that was speed editing. That was a template design where everything kind of fit the same because it's a show. The intro is this long, the interview is this long, the investigation is this long. You just kind of put footage in where it needs to go. You're not redesigning it every single episode. And it still
Right.
took 70 hours of editing.
Wow.
But that's editing. That's not evidence review.
Yep.
That's editing.
It's just putting it
Evidence
together,
review is at least another 80 plus hours.
Yeah.
Because now it's not one camera and one audio. It's 2 cameras and 4 audios. It's static cams. It's, all this other stuff. And then you have to watch the interviews for evidence too.
Yep.
Because ghosts like to mess with us when we're not supposed to have ghosts and things.
Yep.
So, it's super time consuming and I can't do that for free and then put off someone that's going to pay me.
Yeah.
So free don't work anymore.
No, and that's fair. But I don't know. Taylor, is there anything you would like to ask Larry before we start wrapping
hit-
this up?
we hit film super hard on this show.
We held film so hard.
Yeah,
and
I kind of felt like a third wheel.
I'm
I was
That's
like,
so
okay.
I didn't do
sorry.
anything.
Because
It's okay.
I loaded that question up too. And I was like, what got you into investigating? Also, what got you into film? Because I was curious, and I feel like that's not a question you get asked a lot. But I loaded that way too hard.
You can't hear Evelyn, can you?
No.
Oh, good.
I'll go back to the first question because I didn't address it. What got me into investigating? Proving that it's all fake.
All right.
I failed. I didn't do very good at that.
No, a lot of people like that's how they start.
Steve
They
tried
just
to prove that was fake too until he couldn't.
And then they just like start to be like, oh, wait a second.
Wait a minute. Yeah, no, I was super hard line. Like, this is all bull. They're fishing wire and all this stuff. And this was also back in the day where that phone app came out where you could put like the little girl in the plaid dress in a picture.
Oh yeah.
And it's like that's the stock image. That's a stock image. That's the
Anakin
I did all
Skywalker.
that.
Little Anakin.
Yeah. There was one where it's like a hooded figure that you can like opaque and make it look like a super spooky shadow.
Oh,
and we took a pic, my friend Dan with his lightsaber holding it out like this. And then we put the ghost with the robes in front of it like he was striking down a Sith. like you got to enjoy the things that you can enjoy while you can. But all those apps, those were all fake. So that's how I got into it, is being like, that's all fake. That's garbage.
Okay.
And I was this was back before Facebook was the big thing. I was on a web forum for ghost hunting.
Was it
where, for those of you, it was the Bachelor's Grove Cemetery Forum.
Okay.
Which, is like 30, 40 minutes for me. So that's like the closest thing for me for ghost hunting. That was the first thing I looked up and then found this forum. And, there's people posting all this stuff. And I'm like, garbage, garbage, garbage. That's fake. That's fake. That's fake. And all this. And then someone got mad. And they're like, you keep crapping on all of our evidence. Why don't you come out and investigate for real? And you come with us, we'll take you. And I'm like, all right, Mr. Hotshot, fine. I'll come out with you. So they took me to this place. It's called Scott Mansion in Joliet, Illinois. Hiram B. Scott is one of the original patent holders for several strands of barbed wire. This dude was loaded.
All right.
Either the third or the fourth floor of his mansion was a ballroom. We're talking loaded.
Damn.
But, them were the good old days. Nowadays, the mansion was in sad shape. Sad shape. Very much like Jericho's schoolhouse and church. Rough shape.
Right.
No heat, a lot of missing windows and all sorts of stuff. So that was where I saw my first shadow figure block out a doorway.
Oh, wow.
I had my first cold spot. I was touched for the first time, my first audible voice, my first recorded EVPs.
So that all happened in that one
one investigation. And then after I'm looking through all this stuff because the guy's like, come review this footage with me. I'm like, oh, okay, sure. And I'm looking at all this stuff and I'm like, I was there. I can't explain that. There wasn't a person in that room. We were the only ones in the basement. Everybody else was on the second and third floor. Who walked across the doorway? I don't know.
Oh,
so all of a sudden, I pendulum swung from it's all fake to now I have to prove it scientifically. And I did that for a couple years. I swung way too hard the other way. And then somehow I found myself in the middle again where I just want to talk to ghosts. I don't really care how. Just let me talk to some people.
That's cool.
And I'm happy here. It works for me.
Yeah.
There are way smarter people than I am that do the science thing. Let them do the science thing.
Yeah.
They are infinitely smarter than me. Let them do that. I'll work with them and put them on film to do the science thing.
Right.
And if someone wants to be a hard debunker, I'll put them on film so they can be the hard debunker. But here I am in the middle, just talking to them.
Right.
And I'm happy there. I like that. I like doing it my way.
I do too. I like doing it the way, I mean, we just do it to document our experience. And that's how we've been navigating it for the last couple of years. So I like that. We don't try to swing too hard one way or the other. I'll get spooked easily now. I get way too spooked easily now. I was never scared that easily. Now I'm scared of a leaf blows. Right, Taylor?
Well, yeah.
No hesitation. Well,
You know,
yeah.
But I'm a scaredy cat too. And like, I was thinking about it the other day. You were like, "Oh, Taylor, give me a challenge. Send me somewhere alone."
I did do that.
I could do this. But
Nope,
ever since we started doing investigating, you have never been alone. You would send me alone. You would have like Jimmy or Zinger go alone. You were never alone. And then now you're starting to do these like alone parts and you're like, I don't like this. And it's like, now you understand.
Well, here's the thing though.
I'm gonna give you a new challenge. I'm gonna give you a new challenge because I was the same way. Because when you're filming, like I'm the film person. Everybody else has to do the solo sessions because I have to set the cameras up. I have to do the audio. I have to do all this stuff. So now that the show has ended and I'm kind of by myself, I'm filming a new project where I'm locked in a building for a couple days by myself.
Here, let me give you a hearty answer to that.
For several days straight, sleeping there, filming, doing all the stuff for days.
He could barely last 4 hours.
That's the new challenge for you.
When you hear stuff and you're the only person in this house, that place is cool.
You know what it is. It's a ghost.
I know what it is. That's
you should be happy.
I know.
What's the surprise? You know exactly what it is.
I don't know. My fight or flight kicks in, and I always choose flight. All right.
That's okay. That's okay.
Hey, don't make me pop the cool dad bubble. God damn it!
Don't do it. Don't.
I'll come. Yes.
You know what? Just put a hood up or something. You'll be completely disappeared.
In my safe space. He's got his safe space. Damn it.
There you go. Now you can see even less of me.
Nah, I don't know what it is. I was fine. I was fine at the Grand Opera or the Grand Oshkosh. I was fine
you had
there.
Someone in the building.
Yeah, but I was doing everything by myself. Like I was pretty far away from this person. I was more scared of the homeless people that were outside of the building than I was anything that I heard.
That's a real deal. Like that's something to be scared of.
Yeah. But
because you don't know what those people are going to do.
Every fucking 5 seconds. I was terrified because I was 6.5 hours away in a place I've never been to before. I know absolutely no one that I can call if something goes wrong.
I'll be doing that same thing, but a couple days worth.
Are you okay?
I don't envy you.
I will be. Or it's going to be the most terrifying, amazing footage that I've ever caught. It'll be one or the other.
Or maybe it'll be
both. Maybe both.
No, I couldn't do that. Absolutely not. I might be able to stay at the Jericho convent by myself for maybe a day. But after that, I'll be like, all right, I've had my fill.
Sure. Sure. No, I get it. I get it. And every location has its own flavor. Every spirit, every location has its own characteristics to where, like the asylum, there's some sections of the asylum where I'm like, I don't even want to be here for an hour, let alone a day.
Tunnel, which is scary because like I get scared, but I love being in the tunnels. I don't know what it is.
Craig's first year, I led groups in the tunnels on the second day. The tunnel and then the back maintenance room. We kind of flip-flopped.
Yeah.
The first day I did groups in the nurses' hallway. And the nurses' hallway was cool. Like there's some really cool stuff that happened in there.
Yeah.
But the tunnels was more communication-wise. Like a lot of voices, a lot of dowsing rod and spirit box stuff. But yeah, the nurses, I did it with Richard Estep. and then my friend Diet, who is like one of the best mediums that I know. And Richard was going through medical simulations,
Yeah.
and Diet's just like watching these nurses fly back and forth, like going to patients and doing this simulation that Richard's like running them through, and just watching her be like, it was
Oh,
really,
wow.
really cool. And I have it on film.
Nice.
I can't use it because I didn't get a location release from Craig, who has to get it from the owner of the building, and I didn't get a release from Richard, which that's the easy one. It's the location or the likeness release. The location release is the problem. So I don't know if I'll ever be able to use it, but I have it.
I think you'd be able to get it.
Think so?
I think so.
I'd have to include it in something like big. Like if someone wanted to film there, and I'd like kind of rope it in as archive footage.
Yeah. Like I'm trying to get that place, but I can't afford the price tag right now for a private.
Yeah.
Well, it's what, 128,000 square feet or something like that.
Yeah, but you only have access to less than that. Like you get
Sure.
there are some wings and areas that are locked off because the owners were renovating some parts. I don't know if they still are. Like they were building a loft above the third floor for people to like stay when they like booked the place out. I don't know if that's still going or if that's what it's going
I
to be
mean,
used for anymore.
it would help because of how expensive they're charging to get in there. To add a hotel on top of that is like insult to injury.
Right.
Well, that's a lot of money.
I know. And then
And most teams are like looking at that like, ooh, I don't know if I can come up with $200 a person. Holy crap.
even then, like it depends on how many people are on your team. Like Taylor and I are
Mhm.
basically divvying this up by two. So when you have like a
Yeah.
we have a $1,200 price tag for something like that. It's hard to come up with $600 a piece.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be very tough.
I mean,
Very, very tough.
we have a lot of people now that do investigations that we could contact and try to make a big group.
Yeah,
Sure.
but I'm just
But then
hesitant
you get
on
away
having
from the
too big
film
of a
side
group.
because now
That's
you're too
true.
big. But with the way that building's designed, if you split up, you would never find each other.
Fair,
You are so spread apart.
but I'm loud.
Yeah,
I
Blaine's very
mean,
loud.
so is Nick Simons, but if he's not heard in the building, I think you'll be okay.
Singer's over here nodding his head. Yeah, Blaine's pretty loud.
I'll admit it. I don't care. I'm a theater person.
Sure.
Project.
Sure. Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
But yeah, Taylor, any other questions?
I don't think so. He answered the question with the cool lava lamp looking thing.
cool
That
lava
was
lamp.
like the big thing that was on my brain.
You know what? I
So
want to pitch this
it's
idea to you, and I
Spencer's.
want to know your thoughts. I'll
Okay.
pitch this idea to you, and I want to know your thoughts because I'm curious. You know those like cactus toys that like replay when you make a sound in front of
Oh,
them?
yeah.
Those
Yeah.
little- yeah.
Have you ever considered trying one of those out on an investigation?
They work.
They work?
Oh my God, we
Mhm.
need it.
Taylor, we need to get one now.
A lot of times you won't hear what's being said, but the fact that it was triggered is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
need to
especially if
try
it's
it.
like in a static cam room where no one's in there and you have a camera on it and then maybe even a wide so you can see that no one's approaching it, and it needs its own microphone. So even if it's like on the camera pointing at whatever is moving,
Right.
just to be able to pick up the fact that it was triggered, if it goes off alone is enough to be like, that doesn't happen unless something's loud enough to trigger it.
Taylor, we gotta get one.
Yeah,
I
we,
wanna
we
try
said
it.
that we wanted to get one, and if it didn't work, we would just give it to my daughter. And I was
Yeah.
like, all right.
Well, it's kind of like the thermal. You know, will it go off? Will it work? Yeah. But is it like 1 out of 50 chances? Probably.
Right.
But the one time it goes off, you're like, I'm so glad I spent the $40 on this.
Yeah.
All right. We're getting one.
We're
Do
getting
it.
it's getting the cactus.
Do it. You have to make sure you document it correctly though.
Correct.
You got to make sure to get a mic close enough to hear it trigger because it won't say anything. All you're going to hear is the noise floor of the microphone,
Mhm.
which all it's going to sound like is just shh.
Right.
but it'll be loud enough to pick up on your microphone. And then just a camera covering it to show that nobody approached it.
All right.
If you do that with a static cam, it's easy.
All right. That's gonna be some private DMs I'm gonna send you on how to get that properly set up. Then.
Sure.
All right.
Oh, and a trigger object.
Trigger object. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something for the spirit to interact with that'll get them speaking or making noise that will then get picked up too.
Right. All right. I'm down. I'm sold. We're doing this.
And if nothing else, you're out what, like $40?
Yeah, it's not that
I
bad.
get a happy
Man.
child.
Taylor
that.
or a scared
Or that.
child. I've seen
Or
the
a scared
videos.
child.
She's always
some-
grumpy. I feel like she just beat it up.
Maybe.
My daughter always has like a resting bitch face. So
Me too.
All right, Larry, if people want to find you and they're not following you, but for some reason they're following us, where can they find you?
The best place is Facebook.
Facebook?
I've got the blue check mark, so you can find me super easy. And then from there, you can find my website, my link tree. That is a link on my Facebook.
All right.
And then, I have Instagram. I'm not super active on it. It's there. It mostly posts things from Facebook onto Instagram.
yeah.
Same with TikTok for however long TikTok is around.
Yeah.
It's there. I'm on there occasionally, but really Facebook. I'm on Facebook every day, all day. I post 100 times a day. That's really where I'm at.
All right.
So-
Sounds good. And if you want to follow us, you can basically follow us at the link tree in the description below. We're at Ghosting Us everywhere. Yeah, Larry, I just want to say thank you, man. I'm really glad we got you on the show. I'm really glad you were very open to coming on, and I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I had a really good time. Thank you for having me.
Means a lot. I'm not gonna lie. From one film person to another, it means a lot.
I don't get to talk film very much, so it's like, oh yeah.
I figured
I feel like
didn't.
I feel like you guys need to set up a little one-on-one just so you could talk film.
I'll make the trip to Illinois.
We could literally sit at Brodhead for 5 hours and do that.
Oh,
There you go.
I've done it before. I've had people who were like, "Hey, I brought a film friend with me. They want to talk to you." I'm like, "Oh, okay, let's sit down and talk." And then we just sit there and talk all night.
Nice. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for listening on your podcast catcher of choice. We are on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon. If you feel like leaving a review, that'll get us out to more people. We'd greatly appreciate it. And otherwise, we will see you in the next one.